This is usually yours.
Yeah, you said.
Like,
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait.
I was gonna say, I feel like we. I messed it up. I know, and I got right there. So when I got down here, I took my shoes.
Yeah. 6 o'clock. It's 6. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our Tuesday, June the 15th council meeting. I now call this meeting to order. Our pledge of allegiance and invocation tonight will be by Councilwoman Hill. Would you please stand? And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Some thoughts for us as we serve our community. What does the Lord require of you? To do justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God. Micah 6:8.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, under special presentations this night, we have a special award that we need to recognize from the Chattanooga Police Department. Chief, you want to come forward and are you doing it, or? Well, I guess, yeah.
Good evening, Chairman, ladies and gentlemen of the council. I'm Mark Gibson. I'm the police chief in Cleveland, and on behalf of the Tennessee Association of Chiefs of Police, I'm pleased to congratulate the Chattanooga Police Department. This agency has fully demonstrated its commitment to professional law enforcement by recognizing their responsibilities to their community and the citizens they serve and protect. They exemplify the best professional practices with integrity by proving their compliance with the standards of the Tennessee Law Enforcement Accreditation Program. The Tennessee Associations of Chiefs of Police, their board of directors, and on behalf of the accreditation program, is honored to present Chief David Roddy and for their third accreditation award. Much like a college degree for an individual, the award accreditation signifies years of work and accomplishment and many goals of the department. The ultimate goal, the ultimate award, is assurance that they provide professional and courteous service and accountability to their department. So what does it mean for accreditation? The department cannot progress through the process successfully without becoming intimately familiar with their policies and procedures. New and old, they provide proof that they follow those policies. The policy is what they say they do. The proofs mandated by accreditation demonstrate that they do what they say. Next, just as important, the process does not end upon award of accreditation. The department must maintain annual updates, checks, and balances to retain accreditation. This keeps us on the continual progressive trajectory of best practices and professionalism in police services. Accreditation provides assurance that our department attending to those issues that create the greatest liabilities for the department and also to their community. On behalf of the TACP, we congratulate Chief Roddy, your accreditation manager, Lieutenant Eddie Chamberlain, and the command staff and the entire men and women for the outstanding work that they put forth to attain this standard of professionalism. Thank you.
If I may, counsel, what this signifies, one, for me personally, is how much work Lieutenant Eddie Chamberlain and our accreditation staff put into giving the proofs that demonstrate and document what the men and women of this department do every single day. The policy is not just a bunch of words. It's not just paper. It's not just something in the computer. It's what they work through and for and with every single day to support this city. And the fact that we received acknowledgement of their professionalism means the world to me. If I could ask every member of the Chattanooga Police Department in the room to please stand up. Okay, if I can order everyone that works for the Chattanooga Police Department in this room to stand up. I can only do that for a little bit longer, and I'm going to do it. This is but a small part of the team that made this happen. So I personally thank this department for the work they do every day. And Chief Gibson, I appreciate the acknowledgement of what our agency was able to produce as far as accreditation. Thank you, council.
And at this time, we're going to recognize a police officer that is retiring after, I think, 25 years of service. Councilwoman Coonrod.
Thank you, Chair. If Sergeant Jefferson will come up to the mic, please. Sergeant Jefferson, I wanted you to come to council today so all of us could recognize your work with the police department. And after 25 years of serving on the force, you've impacted a lot of people's lives in a positive way in the areas that you served. Just from patrol to community outreach. And I know we went round and round at least 10 times about me coming to different Citizens Police Academy. And I finally was able to get there and really witness your passion for the work that you do. And I just, want to give you your flowers while I got an opportunity to, is that I really value the work that you've done with the police department. And I really wish that you could stay a little longer, but I do. Look, and Chief Roddy told me the exact same, but I, really just wanted you to come and be celebrated. We are in a time where a lot of our Black officers are retiring, like right behind each other. And we need to really get more people into the police department that's got a caring heart like you do, that truly want to serve and impact the inner city community of the areas that Black people reside in and all over the city of Chattanooga. And I appreciate that. Thank you.
More than welcome. Do
So
I have
if
to say
anybody else
something?
wanna say-
Hold on one second. Councilman Byrd, I think, has something.
Thank you, Chair. Sarge, I just want to tell you, thank you for your service, man. I don't want to say your age, but I just remember as a kid coming up myself and you always just been a voice people can talk to, like just a human being. A lot of times as young African Americans, we grow up and we hear a negative tone about police officers all the time. But officers like yourself, every time I saw you, you was like a brother, a friend. You would talk to us, you would shoot it to us straight. And it was time for us to lead a party. You said, y'all got to go. If it was time for us to get off the street, we had to go. But we respected you. And you just always just been a down to earth guy, man. The department is losing a great person. And I just appreciate your service. And I know you're going to go on to do great things. And just thank you for being a part of this team, man. And I look forward to seeing you in the future, brother. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yep. We got one more. Councilman Ledford.
Thank you, Chairman. Sergeant, I don't know what we're going to do without you, brother. We've been friends a long time. You're in my phone. You've always answered it when I've called you. I love the way you are able to articulate the truth in what our Chattanooga police officers do every day and share that passion with us through Citizens Police Academy, of which I'm very, very, very proud to be a graduate of. And I just want you to know you have made an impact on so many lives. You've made an impact on so many different areas in our community. I just hope that you stay here and you do something with us in this community. You're not leaving us, I hope. And he's not going to answer that. But in all seriousness, my brother, I wish you all the success and healthiness in your retirement, and whatever you do, you're going to do fantastic things, as Councilman Byrd said. And just know that we're going to miss you. We're going to miss you terribly. Okay, you're a part of us.
Sir. Chief, did you have a word? No, I don't have anything. Go ahead. Okay.
If we could capture this event where Wayne Jefferson does not have anything to say. I'll just echo everything that everybody said, but for those of you that are not familiar, Sergeant Jefferson has led our Citizens Police Academy for how many years? 49 years. And in and out of all of the decades of work that Wayne has done for us, he demonstrated a skill that I believe is lost in society, or losing its place in society. And that is the ability to give a differing opinion, not make enemies while he's doing so, even with the most sarcastic fastballs a human could throw at somebody, and have them love him at the end of that interaction. That is a skill that I believe is one of the strongest components of being a police officer, and Wayne demonstrated it for 25 years. It's incredibly impressive. I will ask another group if they can. Everyone that is here to show support for Wayne, would you please stand up? These are members of the Citizens Police Academy Alumni Association, Chattanooga police officers, and a bunch of people that love Wayne.
Well, I guess I got to say something because I'm getting pointed at.
You had the problem the pump, didn't you?
Yes.
Chief?
I just want to say thank y'all. It's been a joy. It's 25 years have been, there have been ups and there's been downs. But these folks here was who I did it for. And I try to do it to the best of my ability. And as they told me, I am not allowed to go anywhere as of yet. But I'm trying. But I continue to recruit, try to get the best officers we can get in here, and I continue to educate. I love this job. I enjoyed it. And as I limp off into the sunset, just want to say thank you.
Thank you. We do have a public hearing concerning our budget ordinance this afternoon, but before we do, gentlemen, we're trying to create a little bit of a protected area right here for our clerk. Could I ask y'all to maybe move just back behind the barricades there? Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, we do have a scheduled public hearing on our budget ordinance that we have proposed for next week. So at this time, I'm going to turn the chair over to our Budget and Finance Chairwoman, Councilwoman Burrs.
Call to order the Budget and Finance Committee meeting. The purpose, well, let me first, this is an official meeting, so may I have a motion on the minutes? Second? Anybody in opposition? Thank you. So this is a public meeting about an amendment we want to make to the budget. And I'm going to ask our head of finance, Davey Madison, to come up and just explain it.
Council members, today, on the agenda for next week, we are requesting that this council amend the budget for a special revenue fund known as the Narcotics Fund. This amendment is really being asked, and what it really does is acknowledge that the level of revenues that were anticipated in the initial budget amendment was not achieved by the tune of about $240,000. The appropriations, however, were needed and have been expended, will be expended by June 30. State law requires that if revenues come in less than those that were anticipated, then the budget has to be amended and a different revenue source identified or expenditures reduced. In this particular case, additional revenues were replaced by the shortfall. The shortfall was replaced by reserves that were in the designated fund, and all of those funds are restricted for the purposes for which they were initially appropriated. And that's the purpose of this amendment.
Okay. Thanks, Daisy. And earlier today, we had at council a full explanation. However, the law requires that before we can amend the budget, we have to have a public hearing within 10 days before the final hearing. And so we're in compliance. So this is the public hearing. I call it to order. And is there anyone that wants to make any comments before the body relative to the amendment, the proposed amendment to the budget? You're making my life very easy. Okay, then if there are no comments to be made, I end this meeting and turn it over to you, Mr. Chair.
Could I have a motion on the minutes,
So moved.
please? We have a motion to approve the minutes with a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Coonrod. Councilman Byrd. Councilwoman Dotley. Councilwoman Byrd. Councilman Hester. Councilman Ledford. Councilwoman Hill.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith.
Yes.
Chairman Henderson.
Yes,
9 yeses.
ayes have it. All right, now moving to your order of business for tonight's city council. Vice Chair Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Earlier today during our agenda session, I mentioned that Resolution 7A, I would be moving that we request the body to place that at the end of our agenda, as the items that will be voted on for that will be pending the outcome of the protest hearing that occurs in other business. So I would like to move that 7A be placed at the end of our agenda, please.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor with a proper second. I'm just going to ask, are there any objections to moving 7A to the end of our agenda? Seeing no objection, 7A will be placed at the end of our agenda for tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Now, council, moving to ordinances on final reading. Madam Clerk, under planning, items A through F are all second readings. If there are no objections from this council, would you please read A through F?
Item A, an ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance so as to rezone part of a property located at 900 Birmingham at Highway from M1 manufacturing zone to M2 light industrial zone. Item B, an ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance so as to rezone part of a property located at 4905 Highway 58 from RT1 residential townhouse zone to R3 residential zone subject to certain conditions. Item C, an ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance so as to lift condition number 5, all existing easements be retained from ordinance number 11522, a previous case number 2004-0016, from property located at 8001 Volkswagen Drive, more particularly described herein. Item D, an ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance so as to rezone properties located at 2500 and 2502 Bailey Avenue from R2 residential zone to RTZ residential townhouse zero lot line zone subject to certain conditions. Item E, an ordinance to amend Chattanooga City Code Part 2, Chapter 38 zoning ordinance so as to rezone properties located at 2314, 2316, 2505, 2509, 2510, and 2513 East 17th Street, 2500 and 2513 East 18th Street, 2420 and 2502 East 21st Street, 2005 South Lyerly Street, and 1607 and 1611 South Watkins Street from C2 Convenience Commercial Zone, M1 Manufacturing Zone, M3 Warehouse and Wholesale Zone, and R2 Residential Zone to C3 Central Business Zone, subject to certain conditions. Item F, an ordinance amending Chattanooga City Code Part 2, Chapter 38, Article 16, Downtown Chattanooga Form-Based Code, Division 11, Signs, Section 38, 753, Sign Types, 2, Projecting Signs, and A, Max Square Footage.
Councilman Ledford.
To move items A through F under planning for approval.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to approve items 5A through F with a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Hill,
Yes.
Councilman Ledford, Councilman Hester, Councilwoman Burrs, Councilwoman Dotley,
Yes.
Councilman Byrd, Councilwoman Coonrod, Vice Chairman Smith, Chairman Henderson,
Yes.
9 yeses.
The motion to approve items 5A through F carries 9-0. So tonight we have no ordinances on first reading. We move now to resolutions. Madam Clerk, if you would, let's take 7B, C, and D together if there are no objections from the council.
Item B, a resolution authorizing the Chief Human Resources Officer to renew an agreement with Cigna to provide active city employees with 2 PPO dental plan options and 1 HMO dental plan, wherein dental options for retirees will consist of both a PPO and HMO plan option for a contract term of 1 year beginning July 1, 2021, with 1 optional 1-year renewal term remaining for an approximate annual employee paid cost of $1,350,000. Item C, a resolution authorizing the appointment of Isabel Kirby as a special police officer unarmed for the Department of Public Works to do special duty as prescribed herein, subject to certain conditions. Item D, a resolution authorizing the Chief Human Resources Officer to extend the existing contract with the Hartford to administer the city's leave management program through September 30, 2021, at a cost not to exceed $13,500.
What's the pleasure of the council? We have a motion on the floor to approve items 7B, C, and D with a proper second. Questions or comments before we vote? Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Coonrod, Councilman Byrd, Councilwoman Dotley, Councilwoman Burrs, Councilman Hester, Councilman Ledford, Councilwoman Hill,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Henderson,
Yes,
9 yeses.
so moved. Now, under Public Works, Madam Clerk, if there are no objections from the council, I'd like to take 7E, F, G, H, and I.
Item E, a resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to approve change order number 2 final for P&C Construction, Inc. of Chattanooga, Tennessee, relative to contract number R18004-201, the Scramble Interactive Streetscape on First Street for an increased amount of $41,212.35 to release the remaining contingency amount of $57,827.65 for a revised contract amount of $1,031,610.90. Item F, a resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to approve change order number 1 to Thomas Brothers Construction Company, Inc. of Hickson, Tennessee, relative to contract number R19007-201, Walnut Street Plaza for an increased amount of $191,990.60 for a revised contract amount of $2,392,643.10. Item G, a resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to enter into an agreement with the Bethlehem Center and the Net Resource Foundation for award of the city's Green Grants Program for the design and installation of a water quality retrofit project for an amount not to exceed $125,000. Item H, a resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to enter into an agreement with Chattanooga Charter School of Excellence for award of the city's Green Grants Program for the design and installation of a water quality retrofit project for an amount not to exceed $75,000. Item I, a resolution authorizing the administrator for the Department of Public Works to renew contract number W19002-201 with Tally Construction Company, Inc. for 12 months with no renewal remaining for the purposes of sanitary sewer installation and repair at ISS and related facilities in the amount of $1,750,000.
Councilwoman Dotley.
Yes, Chair, due to an affiliation with one of the organizations from 7G, I wanted to abstain from that particular vote.
Okay. Madam Clerk, Ms. Dotley is abstaining from the vote. Councilwoman Coonrod.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor to approve items E through I. Any questions or comments before we vote? Very well. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Hill,
Yes.
Councilwoman Ledford. I'm sorry, Councilman Ledford. Councilman Hester. Councilwoman Burrs. Councilwoman Dotley. Councilman Byrd, Councilwoman Coonrod, I didn't hear your vote.
What was your vote again, Councilwoman? Yes.
Okay. Vice Chairman Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Henderson.
Yes.
All right, that is 8 yeses.
Items 7E through I does pass to approve. Council, that concludes tonight's items. If you would, pull out your purchases for this afternoon. Mr. Chief of Staff, you want to go over tonight's purchase items?
Yes, sir. We have 11 tonight, so I'll go as quickly as I can. The first one is with the purchasing department, new blanket contract for shredding services. Contract is for 12 months with an option to renew for 2 additional 12-month terms. The award will go to River City Shredding LLC as the best bid meeting specifications with an annual amount of $50,000. Item 2 is the Parks Division of Public Works. This is a name change. ERMC of America was purchased by Allied Universal Security Services Secure America LLC effective March 10th, 2021. The contract is for grounds maintenance for city parks. The amount remaining on the contract is $98,746, and the contract expires March 2nd, 2022. Item 3, excuse me. Item 3, citywide services, first renewal with West Rock Converting LLC for processing and marketing of single stream curbside recycled materials. West Rock submitted a 26.3% price increase at the time of renewal. The annual amount for the contract is $260,000. The increase is due to material difference in source, separated volume per ton processing fee for all residential single stream recycled materials. As mentioned earlier today, that means there's some contamination in the stream. The fourth item is citywide services. This is also a name change. Oh, hold on. I skipped the third one. My bad. Third item, citywide services, first renewal. No, I just did West Rock. See, I'm all over the place now. I'm going to go back to number 4. Name change. This is another name change. Santec Waste Services was purchased by Republic Services effective May 5th, 2021. The contract is for refuse and recyclables transport services. The original amount of the contract was $2.5 million. Approximately $600,000 has been spent, which leaves an amount of $1.9 million on the contract, which expires June 30th, 2021. And we are currently in the process of working on a renewal with Republic Services since it's no longer Santec. I think in the notes you saw that it showed an average of $600,000 for this contract, but really it should have said that we've spent $600,000, so there's 1.9 remaining, just to clarify that. The next item is citywide services. It's first renewal with Chattanooga Tractor and Equipment, Southern Pride Services and Repairs, and Sell Creek Outdoor Power Equipment and Service LLC for outdoor power equipment, small engine maintenance and repair. Tractor and Equipment submitted a 3% price increase at the time of renewal. The annual amount for the contract is $60,000. The increase is recommended for approval. Item 6, Waste Resources Division, increase amount for contract with USIC for locating and marking services for underground utilities. The increased amount is $125,000 for a total annual amount of $645,000. The increase is required to cover services prior to contract renewal in October of 2021. The increase is recommended for approval. Item 7, Waste Resources Division, first of two renewal options with environmental products and accessories for sewer maintenance equipment, environmental products and accessories. I can't talk tonight. Submitted a 4.6% price increase on 4 of the 96 line items that were included in the contract. The annual amount is $25,000. The increase is recommended for approval. Item 8, Police Department. This is what we discussed earlier today, the payment of past due invoices to Mostellers for towing services of evidence cars for a period of December 2017 through January 2021. The amount is $64,000. The police department has been working with Mostellers to resolve invoicing issues because the towing was being completed under a contract with Fleet. Invoicing was not being submitted to the police department. The vendor contacted the city about these invoices in 2020. After several meetings, the issue has been resolved and invoices were submitted to the city. A new contract will be put in place for towing of evidence cars going forward. This payment of past due invoices is recommended for approval. Item 9, Police Department. Purchase of one F-150 XL Super Crew SSV with tow package in the amount of $29,128. This purchase utilizes State of Tennessee Contract SWC 209-64473. Item 10, Police Department. This is second and final renewal with GT Distributors for ballistic body armor. GT Distributors submitted a 4.72% price increase at the time of renewal. The annual amount is $125,000. The increase is recommended for approval. And finally, item 11 is for YFD Avondale Head Start. This is a new blanket contract for janitorial and floor care services. Contract is for 12 months with the option to renew for 2 additional 12-month terms. The award goes to Detail Experts Franchise Systems LLC as the best bid meeting specifications with an annual amount of $90,000. And we have no RFPs or emergency purchases tonight.
Thank you, sir. Councilwoman Coonrod.
Thank you, Chair. All I want to say is, listen, you the best chief of staff that I've witnessed. And I need the council, we need to put into ordinance, legislate that whoever becomes the next mayor after, the next 4 years after Tim Kelly, we need to put it in ordinance form that he stays as the chief of staff. You just involved in everything, and I like that. Thank you so much.
I fully agree. Thank you.
Yeah. So with
Thank
that
you,
said,
Councilwoman.
move to approve.
Give him 4 years and we'll see if he still feels the same. What's the pleasure of the council on tonight's approval? We got a motion on the floor to approve. Do I hear a second? With a proper second. Questions or comments before we vote? Madam Clerk, could we have a roll call, please?
Councilwoman Coonrod. Councilman Byrd. Councilwoman Dotley. Councilwoman Burris. Councilman Hester. Councilman Ledford. Councilwoman Hill.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Smith.
Yes.
Chairman Henderson.
Yes.
9 yeses.
Motion carries. Now moving to committee reports. Earlier today, and I will give this in the form of a report. Earlier today, we did reach consensus on the committees going forward, and they are as follows. And I'll list a council person that is going to chair that committee. Economic Development Committee be chaired by Councilwoman Coonrod. Public Safety Committee by Councilman Byrd. Parks and Public Works Committee by Councilman Hester. Equity and Community Development Committee by Councilwoman Dotley. Education and Innovation Committee by Councilwoman Hill. Planning and Zoning Committee, Councilman Ledford. Budget and Finance Committee, Councilwoman Burrs, and Legislative Committee, Vice Chair Smith. And that is in the form of a report. We did have Public Works Committee today. Councilman Hester, would you like to report on that, sir? Okay, thank you, sir. Councilwoman Coonrod.
Thank you, Chair. I just want to say I loved serving 4 years of a YFD. That was my passion. But listen, as I want the constituents know and everybody listening on the news, as of today, our emails, calls, and show ups, I need you to direct out at the Councilwoman Dotley. I'm passing that on to her, and anything economic development related, contact me. Thank you. Just wanted to make that.
Thank you. Councilwoman Dotley.
But thank
And
you.
I appreciate that too.
I know you do. I know you do. Thank you so much, Councilwoman Coonrod. And I look forward to serving all of our constituents on the community development and equity.
All right. Now that we've got all of that out of the way, we move now to other business. We do have an RFP protest hearing this afternoon. Chief, would you come forward again, please?
Yes, sir.
Could you present the protest by this company?
Yes.
Thank you.
So the protest was submitted by MetLife. This is for the contract for voluntary benefits as well as FMLA management and other various benefits. The protest was submitted by MetLife. The action requested was to verify that there was no miscalculation in evaluator number 3's pricing score. We did confirm that there was indeed no miscalculation. And we still recommend that the award go to Symetra, who was the original vendor that we sent notification of award to. Furthermore, the employee with MetLife who filed the protest is no longer with MetLife. And we did receive an email from the regional director of MetLife. His name is Todd Lawrence, and he asked that we proceed without any representation from MetLife.
Okay, very well. Any questions or comments for the chief?
I don't know, maybe we might should ask just to make sure no one's here from MetLife.
Well, I was, believe me, I was going to do that. Okay, just to confirm, are there any representatives from MetLife here this afternoon that would like to address the council? I'm seeing no representative. Thank you, Chief.
Yep, we recommend approval of award to Symetra.
Okay.
And Councilwoman Coonrod's the best committee chair of economic development I've ever worked with.
Okay, Madam Clerk, if you would, we moved item 7A to the end of our agenda. Would you please at this time read 7A?
A resolution authorizing the Chief Human Resources Officer to enter into an agreement with Symetra to provide long-term disability insurance, group life insurance, accidental death and dismemberment insurance, FMLA leave management system, volunteer supplement life and volunteer short-term disability insurance for a 3-year term effective July 1, 2021, with an option to renew for a final 2-year term with the city's portion in the amount of $230,000 for an estimated annual cost of $1,169,000.
What's the pleasure of the council? We have a motion on the floor to approve item 7A with a proper second. Any questions or comments before we vote? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilwoman Hill,
Yes.
Councilman Ledford, Councilman Hester, Councilwoman Byrd, Councilwoman Dolly, Councilman Byrd, Councilwoman Coonrod, Vice Chairman Smith.
Yes.
Chairman Henderson,
Yes.
9 yeses.
Motion to approve carries 9-0. That does conclude all items on our agenda this afternoon. We now move to recognitions of persons wishing to address the council this afternoon. Do we have any, by show of hands, anyone that would like to address the council this afternoon? Okay. I'm going to ask our attorney if he would to read the rules for addressing the council. And Mr. IT, could you put 3 minutes on the clock for us while he's doing that?
Yes, sir. At the end of every council meeting, the chair will recognize members of the public that wish to address the council. Anyone wanting to talk comes up to the microphone here and is recognized there. Please provide your name, address, and council district. You can't have more than 3 minutes to speak, but you can address the council on matters within their legislative and quasi-judicial authority and not upon matters which are under the authority of other governmental bodies or agencies. You can't use any vulgar or obscene language nor use the floor to personally attack or personally denigrate others, and address the council as a whole and not make comments directed towards individual council members. Thank you, sir.
All right, could we have 3 minutes on the clock? Go ahead, Mr. Harris.
Sylvester Harris, 3300 Curtis Street. Congratulations to Wayne again on the police citizen academy. I think everybody should sign up for that haven't ever did it. I mean, you learn a whole lot how the police department is ran and how things go in this city. So I advise you to join up. I think it's twice a year. And congratulate to Ms. Coonrod for your re-election. I think you do a fine job again. You did a fine job those other 4 years, in my opinion. But I need to clear up some things. I accidentally misspoken last week. I invited the whole city to the police advisory board. I made a mistake. I spoke too soon because I feel so confident that everything is honest about it. I said, everybody come aboard, see what we do. But that being said is that we cannot do this. And the reason why is, one thing is because some cases will still be pending. And with cases still pending after we make votes on it, we can't let stuff out to the public. Plus, it could cause disruption to the board and a retaliation to some people that may be feeling a little nervous about their vote and people saying things. And so we can't do that. And I truly apologize to everybody that I invited to this because I was just so passionate about what we're doing, and give us a chance to show what we're doing. And maybe one day we'll do maybe a open house with the community, or meet down here, and we can meet people and talk about what we do. Because you got to give the board a chance. I think everybody that I've met on this board is sincere in what they do. They good people. I'm one man and one vote. And with my vote, I'm gonna always speak for the truth. If it's for a citizen or is it for an officer? Because right is right. I don't care how it works. It don't work any other way. So for me, I want to do the right thing. But I apologize again for my actions on how quickly I spoke to invite everybody in, but we cannot do that. And I apologize again. And I thought we're going to have something, another issue. Marion Garber, they're going to open it up for to be a vocational school. We need vocational. It's sad that they cut vocational out. I hate the city gave their power away to the county when we can make our own decisions when it comes to the school systems. We need a vocational for these young kids to have a chance and a future in this city. Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Mr. Harris, for clearing that up. Anyone else that would like to address the council this afternoon?
Good evening. Sam Kovacevic, 1337 Village Green Drive, District 3. About a month ago, from Public Works, a bunch of us came down here. We don't have quite as many tonight, but because everybody worked in the sun all day today and it was kind of hot. But we talked before about our pay raises and different things, and we asked y'all about being recognized as essential workers. Well, and y'all give us some great acclimates and everything about y'all agreed that we should be that way. Well, we had it come up again today, and it was asked to the mayor on the radio. They were explaining to him about the rescue plan, which I understand met with y'all last week, and they went over different things about where this $38.6 million could be spent. And so essential workers got brought up again. I think it was where it said, let me look real quick, that the premium pay to essential workers could be up to $13 an hour and back pay until March 2020. And you know, all of us from Public Works, like we talked a month ago, the tornado hit, the pandemic and all, and everybody knows we were out there in the middle of it all. And today he just spoke up and says, well, this money's just going to have to be looked at very hard. And it just kind of puzzled us because we still are asking to be essential workers, because when a snow hits or some kind of pandemic, you know, garbage has always got to be picked up. Brush trucks are always running, and Public Works is always there, and they send the non-essentials home, but the other people are still always there. So I'd like to bring it up to y'all again to be on this thought process of y'all figuring everything out, that we be recognized for essential workers again, and consider us for some of this back pay money that the comptroller was talking about back to March 2020, and could be up to $13. And I'd appreciate it if y'all would look at this very seriously and keep us in mind, because we've got a lot of people that are trying to make decisions at Public Works, whether they want to stay or go into the private sector, you know, and you know, we're already shorthanded, as I told y'all before. But I appreciate anything y'all could do to help us out.
Thank you. Councilman Hester?
And you have my support on that. Thank you.
Councilman Byrd?
Thank you, Chair. Attorney Field, now, is that how we all, I not echo Councilman Hester's concerns, and we do 100%, I know I do to support that. But is that a decision this body can make? And can we do that, or is that administrative decision? Because I don't want these guys looking at us and we're sitting here and telling them, we agree, we understand. And then we leave out of here and they get nothing or they hear nothing. And then a month or two later, they come back and they say, you guys said you agree, but you did nothing.
Yes, sir.
Is that something that this body can do? Or is that something this body has authority to do? Or is that a administrative thing?
The mayor is in charge of the administrative functions here of the city and the employees that work under it. You fund those programs though, and it's an issue as to how you would deal with the funding in the budget ordinance.
Thank you.
Well, Chief, you read my mind. I'm glad you're up here. In our meeting last Wednesday, it was my understanding the comptroller said that it was the decision of the mayor as to who is an essential worker. Is that correct, sir?
Correct. Other thing I'll say, we did discuss earlier today that we will be presenting to council an update on compensation study that started back in 2020. So we're planning to do that in July as we move into the budget process. And we are committed to implementing as much of the compensation plan as we can. One thing I will mention on the ARP dollars in particular, related to essential employees, what can be, the money can be used for. Final guidance has not been released on this federal funding stream. So, and it will not be released until sometime in July. So we're not making any decisions related to ARP funding until we get final guidance. As the comptroller said, don't let the money burn a hole in your pocket. Wait until you get the rules before you start spending it and get yourself in trouble. So we will wait and we will create a comprehensive plan along with council. And our plan is to make some generational changes in the city using those funds. But we will be addressing pay as much as possible in the upcoming budget.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Anyone else that would like to address the council this afternoon? Okay, let me just ask those in the audience, if you would, to show courtesy to our clerk and allow her to exit the room before you approach the dais. Council, with that, I'm seeing no other hands that would like to address the council this afternoon. What is your pleasure? So moved, we are adjourned.